Hello, happy Wednesday. It's live mix day. Who is that YouTube user? Who is that? It says, I'm first. Hello, everybody. Welcome Wednesday. It's Wednesday live mix day. If you've never joined us on a Wednesday before, every Wednesday I come live at 3 o'clock Central Time. We are in the warehouse. So if you hear busy little bees in the background, that's the crew. Just working on orders and getting stuff done for the company. So we are in the warehouse today. We will be moving over into the studio. What we do on Wednesdays is I custom blend a glitter color. Hello, Nancy. I custom blend a glitter color. And it is only available until this sells out. So I mix a batch of it, and when it's gone, it's gone. So like last week's sold out very, very quickly. And so this week we are mixing a new color. So if you were up there and you were like, oh, I'll just wait and I'll get this one next week, it is not there anymore. So Live Mix 110 sold out. I believe it sold out by Friday. So the batch that I make today is the only batch of this particular color that we will make. We don't write down the formulas, and we don't keep track of it. I mix it. It's fun. It gets bagged. They do not get actual names. So if you go on our website, you'll notice all of our glitters have boys' names. That's because all I have is girls. So I have triplet girls, and I am pregnant with another girl. And so I always my whole life wanted to have boys. And so I never got a name boys. So we just named all the glitters boys. Use all my boys' names. So all the glitters have boys' names. Now the live mixes do not get that. And that's because they sell out quickly. You can go back. If you search live mix on our website, you could find some of the older live mixes or from previous weeks. They're not old. They're all within the last probably like 6 weeks or so. You can find some of the previous live mixes that still have a few left over. Some of them I just mixed a gigantic batch because I wasn't like tracking how much I was mixing, and I just made a whopper of a batch. So we have some left over, but a lot of numbers are going to be missing because a bunch of them have sold out. They do frequently sell out. Last week sold out. Today we are going with a Christmas red, like a candy cane red. A couple weeks ago we did more of like a custom, like deep, I don't want to say burgundy red, but it was like a deep brick. I don't want to say burgundy because it wasn't quite burgundy, but a really deep, dark, rich red. But today we are going with more like a candy cane red. This is going to be an all fine glitter. The one from last, I guess I'll say it's a little burgundy because it was like burgundy and super dark green to go together. Today is going to be more candy cane red. We are geared up. It's like 4 different shades, and we've got metallic, it's holographics, but it is going to be a fine glitter. Now, if you've never joined us for a Wednesday before, we have started doing a freebie on Wednesdays. If you buy 5 of today's live mix, you can add the freebie to your shopping cart for free. It is listed right next to it under today's deal. So what you're going to see is you're going to see the live mix listing. It's going to have the picture of the live mix on the website is just the colors that I have selected to blend together to make today's live mix. So we haven't mixed it, so we don't have a final photo for you guys for the website. So it's the pictures the glitters that I've selected to mix in the photo. And next to it, you're going to see, and it'll say read the description, free with, purchase of 5, It is a cute little hot cocoa water slide. You can add that for free if you add 5 of today's live mixes. Now, that's not us saying like, oh, you got to go in and buy 5, because what we did was we just recognized that a lot of you were buying 5, and adding the freebie for those who buy at 5 is just us saying thank you for being supportive and buying so many, and here's like a little free gift for being awesome and supporting our company like that. So that's just our way of, like, we don't magically sell more glitter because of it. This is really just for people who are already going in there and buying 5 anyway. It's because so there's a freebie there for you. If you are like, I love the decal, but I'm not going to buy 5, you can purchase it. We have it available for sale. We have it as a sublimation print, a water slide, or an instant transfer. Now, I will tell you, about 20 minutes ago, I looked and there was only 47 of the instant transfers left. You guys are absolutely insane. I don't know how many are left now. It's been 20 minutes, and with y'all, that could mean there's 3 left. But the instant transfer today, this is the transfer. It says hot cocoa season. It's got the little snowmen chilling in the hot cocoa cup. Monique's like, hi, got my live mix and my instant Nice girl. So this is the image that if you order 5 of today's live mixes, you can add a water slide of this guy for free. There is a separate listing for that. It's $0. If you want to purchase it because you're like, I'm not going to buy 5, this is up on the website. Next to it is a purchasable one. You just got to select whether you want it. It's a sublimation print, a water slide, or an instant transfer. This is the instant transfer. Okay, super cute. When this sells out, it's gone. Again, these holiday instant transfers, we know they're adorable. They are selling out very, very fast. But because it is a holiday, we're not going to restock them, because by the time we got them restocked, the holiday would almost be over. But what we are doing is we're just bringing in a ton of new stuff. So every week you're going to see, if you miss on this cute little hot cocoa one, I guarantee you we're going to have another cute hot cocoa one coming. So we got, trust me, there's a lot. So that is today's Cutie Patootie. Now, and we are ordering and producing more of these. You guys are just buying them that fast. Okay. Then, so what we do is I will mix this glitter today. It is up on the website. This is live mix number 111. It is a little hot chocolate hot tub, Susan. Isn't it the cutest? So today we are going to be working with the double-sided adhesive sheets. If you have not tried double-sided adhesive sheets, they're so fun to do. They're called Tumbler bursts. We buy all of our patterns on Etsy. I do not have time. I wish I had the time to tinker around and design and whatever. I buy my designs on Etsy. I searched Tumbler burst. I looked up Christmas Tumbler bursts and picked one. We're going to be working on a 20 regular tumbler, perfect little hot chocolate tumbler, size tumbler. The template that I purchased already comes curved, ready to wrap. You won't be able to see it in this light. I know the bursts are really fun, so it's a way of making like a hand glittered look. So we're going to be working with today's glitter, and we're going to take a portion of it. We're going to go in the studio, and I'm going to do the tumbler burst with you guys. But we sell the double-sided adhesive sheets on our website. So if you are like, I don't know where to get them, we have them on the website. You need to be able to have a Cricut or a Silhouette to cut the image onto them, or have a friend that has one. That's always the best. It's always the best. It's always the best to have like a friend who has the boat, or the friend who has the vacation home, or the friend that has the, because then you like adjacent, you get all the benefits from it. So like having a friend that has a Cricut, awesome. Sorry, I'm trying to keep track of, you guys are chatting with each other. I'm trying to keep track of questions. So if you never joined us for a live mix, I'm going to mix this glitter up. It's going to be a beautiful red. It's going to have 4 parts to it, and it's going to be a fine glitter. And again, it is live mix number 111 on the website. Okay. So grab it. And if you're looking for live mix 110, it sold out last week. So if you were one of those people who was like hoping to grab it this week with this week's order of this live mix, you missed out. It is no longer available. So I'm going to get all these glitters. So I had all the pieces for this one custom created for us. This is going to be a blend of 4 different reds. So it's going to be a very, so the reason I do the different, it's like all reds going in today. It's not like we're not throwing oranges or greens or any curveballs in here. This is going to be 4 different reds, and we're going from light to dark. And there's also a mix of metallics and holographics. And doing that, it just is going to make a very robust, very visually textured red. As you guys saw with the brown from last week, we mixed multiple colors in that brown, multiple tones of browns, like darks to lights, some warm, some cool browns, some warm browns. And when we poured it in the mold or on the item, and we made the let's just say the feather mold with it, when you looked at that feather mold, it wasn't just like a flat brown. It's like super like extra. The sparkles are different from the versus the light ones versus the dark ones. And you just get a lot of depth within that color. And that's what we were shooting for with this red. We wanted a really robust, very visually textured red. All right. We have other reds on our website. We do have reds on the website. We have a lot of chunky reds, and I do a lot of chunky reds for our custom mixes. And that's why I went with a fine red, because we do a lot of chunky reds for our live mixes. When we do a red on a live mix, it's generally chunky. So Complete Creation says, what epoxy do you recommend? Well, if you're working with molding or deep pours, I recommend our molding and deep pour epoxy. We stopped carrying our Tumbler epoxy, not because it wasn't a good product, but because we had so many issues with the shipping between the manufacturer and here. We were losing tens of thousands of dollars, and that's not an exaggeration. We probably are about, I would say, $30,000 to $40,000 in the hole just from shipping issues, and product getting damaged in shipping, and it's just a big nightmare. So we stopped carrying the Tumbler epoxy because we couldn't get an order in, mainly just because we just couldn't get the issues solved, and I couldn't afford to continue it. So I'm actually testing other epoxies. I don't have one to currently recommend to you. Oh, you have ours from, yeah. So I don't have one currently to recommend for you because it has been so long since I used other brands epoxies besides ours. So I am in the realm of testing different brands and styles and to decide which one I actually like the best, that I would stand behind. Because I don't want to just say, oh, try this one. And I'm not doing it for any, I don't want to say clout. Like nobody's backing this. Like nobody's paying me to pick one. I'm going to pick the one I like and the one I think is user friendly and easy to use. And then I will recommend it to you guys. But we're not there yet. I don't have a recommendation. I'm sorry. Because ours was the best. Ours was amazing. And it's just, yeah, it's very depressing. It's a very depressing topic for a Wednesday. Yeah, because we loved ours. We couldn't afford another $5,000 shipping issue. We're just not in that. We're not in that place anymore. We never were in that place, but we just kept taking the hits. All right, here we go. If you've never joined us now, we are going to mix this glitter on camera with y'all. Everybody's here. Everybody's here. This is going to be a fine red. It's going to be like our candy cane red is what I'm kind of shooting for. There we go. We're shooting for candy cane red. It's going to be a fine glitter. It's going to be metallics, mostly metallics, and a little bit of holographic, not a hard holographic. It's going to be a very subtle holographic because so the first color in, this is kind of more of a coppery red. Okay. This is going to be our lightest of the reds. And you can see it's kind of almost got a little copper undertone, a little orangey undertone. It is definitely still a red, but just like with the browns where we had the cool and the light, one was almost like burgundy red from brown from last week. This one's almost like a little bit of orangey red, but it is still a really pretty red. It's super high flash metallic. Okay. So that is going to be our lightest red. Okay. Now we're going to dump in. Let's go ahead and dump in our second to darkest red. Okay. And you can see this is a deep brick red. And again, this is a metallic as well. And so this is a deep, rich red. You can see the difference between like almost the orangey red and to the deep brick dark red. Okay. Okay. And so again, super high flash metallic, deep brick red. Then we're going to go to the medium red metallic. This is going to be more like crayon red. Okay. I'll do half. Okay. This is going to be more like crayon red. You can see the difference. Like this is a deep, dark brick red, and this is more of a crayon red. And again, the reason we mix these different red tones together is to get a really visually textured, robust red underneath. Okay. So we've got our brick red, our crayon red. Okay. And now we're going to go in with our deepest, darkest holographic red. Now, this is our only holographic. Like you said, it's not going to be an in-your-face holographic. The holographic is going to be subtle, and it's going to add that little extra sparkle. And this is the darkest red we have. Okay. And you can see here, this is our crayon red. This is our deep, dark red, and this has the holographics in it. The holographics are hard to see inside. We don't have that natural light in here. Okay, so there we go. We have our 4 reds layered in there. Okay. Now, if you've never joined us on a Wednesday before, we're about to mix this all up. It's going to be a red fine mix. This is meant to be like our candy cane red. We're going to be doing it on a glitter a tumbler burst. Get out of breath real easy. Pregnancy is real hard when you're in your 40s. I just got tired lifting up like 4-pound bags. Give me a minute. All right, so if you've never joined us on a live mix Wednesday before, yes, I'm pregnant. If you've missed all the millions of announcements, I am pregnant. I am 14 weeks pregnant, but I'm in my 40s, and it's real hard to do this when you're 40s. So live mix number 111 is up on the website. It's called live mix number 111. It will not get an actual name. They sell out too fast, so we don't give them actual names. They get numbers. So we've been doing this for 111 weeks. Isn't that insane to say? We've been doing this every Wednesday for 111 weeks. The only week we don't do it is a big sales weeks. Actually, I don't know. Have we ever skipped a week? I'm trying to actually think. But yeah, we 40 is the new 20. Amen. Kayla, that's what I say. Well, I mean, not to toot my own horn, but most people are like, you're in your 40s. I'm like, yeah, I know I act like a 16-year-old. I have the maturity of like a 90-year-old woman, but I have the personality of a 16-year-old. Anyway, so we take this live mix, we mix it up. We mix a big batch. It goes up on the website. When it sells out, it's gone. We're going to use it in a project today. We're doing a tumbler burst. I've also got a couple molds we're going to pour it in. I'm going to do the really pretty, I think it's called a pretty jar or something. I don't know it's jar on the website. But there's also a new decal today. So a new instant transfer. It's a hot cocoa, which you instant transfer, super duper cute. All of this is listed under today's deals at our website. Our website is iwantglitter.com. Now we have 2 coupon codes. Today is the day that LLR BOGO gets used the most. So Glitter Now is a coupon code if you're ordering a big order. Glitter Now is probably going to be your jam because that's going to save you 8% on your entire order. The only thing it doesn't work on is swag bags and glitter sub boxes. The other coupon code that gets used a lot on Wednesdays is LLR BOGO. That is a buy one, get one free glitter. You get 1 free glitter per order. So if you were buying like 4 live mixes, you use LLRBOGO and you will save $6.50 because one of them will be free. You have to have at least 2 glitters in your shopping cart for that coupon code to work, for it to engage. And then you get the equal or lesser valued one free. But it's used, LLRBOGO is used the most on Wednesdays because of live mix day. Everyone's buying glitter. And it saves you $6.50. So if you're in there, and even if you're buying 2 live mixes and then a bunch of the other goodies that are on sale, LLRBOGO is probably going to be your best coupon code because it's going to save you $6.50. It's going to give you one of them for free. Now, if you're like, I don't know the math, 8% off my whole order sounds great. I don't know, maybe that's more. You could put both coupon codes into the system. It's going to automatically select whichever one saves you the most money. So if you're like, I don't actually know which one's going to save me more money, put them both in. If the system knows to pick which one saves you more money. All right. Hope it's a boy. Oh no, this is a girl. We already know her name. This is little baby Betty. Her name is Betty. Little baby Betty Echo. Ivan goes, and he's like, I'm a little. This is why my husband is the cutest. He's like, I'm still trying to get over the fact that I didn't even get to help name this baby. I was like, what? He's like, I didn't even get help pick the name. I'm like, we had multiple conversations about it, like multiple conversations. And you said, oh, that's really cute. I like it. I was like, all right, that's going to be her name. And you said, oh yeah, I like it. That's a good one. And so that's how her name got picked. Like we have had conversations about it. And since that conversation, because we've been working on, this has been like a 2-year process here, this nugget. And I was like, so from that moment on, her name was always going to be Betty. Like, he's like, I don't remember that. I'm like, I do. Yeah, so it's Betttte, spelled like my grandmother. So her great grandmother is Betty. All right, so yep, we have only girls in this house. My husband, that's why I always say, like, when we're in fights and you're like, you didn't tell me that, I'm like, you don't get to use that as a fight because you literally don't remember anything. I have a terrible memory, but if it's something that I actually remember, I remember. So I'm like, if I remember the conversation, I usually remember it like verbatim. And he's just winging it because he's pretty short. And I was like, but also Ivan, I'm hearing impaired. So if you don't know this else about me, I'm hearing impaired. So I'm like, you may have said it, but if I didn't respond to you, I did not hear you. So like if you're in the room with me and you're talking and I'm not responding to you, or you don't see me, even if I'm looking at you, I'm assuming because you're like mumbling. My husband mumbles. It's like if you're mumbling along in the room next to me and you say something, it doesn't mean you told me. You've been with me we've been together like 9 years or something. Like I think it's 9 years. I was like, I'm hearing impaired. You're married to hearing impaired. You can't just be like, hey, you got to pick up the kids at school at 4. I'm not going to hear that. You have to look at me. I read lips. So I'm like, you have to look at me. I have to see you, and I have to read your lips. Or if I say, yeah, I got it. I heard you. Like, I acknowledge, like, talk. So I'm like, you may have said it, but you didn't say it to your hearing impaired wife. So it doesn't count. He still, after 9 years, hasn't figured this out. That's why he never would. He also hasn't figured out that in 9 years, he's never won a fight. He thinks he does. So this is like the big fat Greek wedding. He's the head, but I am the neck. Yeah. All right. So live mix. Sorry, y'all got off track. Story time by Summer. So live mix. This is going to be live mix number 111. It's up on the website. Go to iwantglitter.com. Click on today's deals. You're going to see it right there. Now, there is over 300 items in today's deals right now. It was just brought to my attention yesterday. The girls are like, we need to whittle this down. Like some stuff needs to be taken out of here. There's so much stuff on sale right now. It's overwhelming. So when you go in there, just fiddle through today's deals. There's a whole lot of stuff on sale that is probably not going to be on sale by this weekend because I got to work on it. Probably start tonight. Good, because I'm late. Jane, I haven't even mixed it. I was waiting for you to pop on and say, I'm here. All right, so I don't even know if it's still available. I did not bring my other phone in here to be able to check, but this is the new instant transfer today. It's also available as a sublimation print or a water slide. It is your free water slide. So if you buy 5 of today's live mixes, you can add the little Hot Cocoa Seasons water slide for free. There is a separate listing for that, and it says $0, but you have to, it says literally in the title, read description, free with purchase of 5 live mixes of 111. If you buy it 2 of 109s and 2 of 107s and two of these, that's not 5 of live mix 107s. It's only 2. You have to buy 5 of today's live mix to get the freebie. Okay. If you add it to your shopping cart and you didn't buy 5 of today's live mixes, it will not ship to you. The girls sometimes write notes, sometimes they don't. But if it doesn't show up in your order, it's because you didn't actually qualify. We do have at least 2 or 3 of you do this every single week. Not always the same person. We don't accidentally, whoopsie-doo, put it in there. Like the girls are trained to watch. Watching you. Just kidding. We don't think people are trying to pull a fast one. I think people just put it in their shopping cart because they don't really read the whole description. They're just like, oh, free one. Yeah, I'll take it. So, because it's never the same person like trying to squeak one by us. It's just kind of random. But you have to buy 5 of today's live mixes for the free one. Now, it is available for sale. The next listing over is the for sale one. You can buy the water slide, the sublimation print, or the instant transfer. This instant transfer is not going to last. Why aren't we making you read? It's only like 5 words. The first one, it says read description. If it says that, that means there's probably something important. All right, here we go. Let's mix this and then let's get cracking. We got a lot to do on this live. I've got a whole plan. Yep, we got a bunch to go through. All right, so we got 4 different. If you missed it, we already poured them into the bin. We're ready to go. There's 4 different reds in here, so you can see you got the brick red, the coppery red, and then the deep dark blood red. But this is meant to be a very robust red. We got all the different tones of reds, so that this is a very, very deep, rich red. This is going to be live mix 111. The goal here is to make a pretty candy cane red. It's got mostly metallics and a little holographic. That it's got a quarter of it is a holographic. That little bit of holographic is just to add the extra little punch of different type of sparkle in there. It is a red holographic, so the whole part of the holographic is still red. It just has a different type of sparkle. So pretty. And this is exactly what I wanted. It is like the perfect candy cane. And so we got the blend of those deep, dark reds and the like more lighter reds. crayon red and coppery red to make a really rich red. Very depth. There's a lot of depth in this color because you've got, in one little handful, you've got light and dark all in one. So it gives you all different types of sparkle. And that's what I shoot for when I mix like all browns, but all different shades of browns. So when you see the sparkle, it goes from light reds. I'm so out of breath. It goes light reds to dark reds and holographic reds, all type of sparkle in there. So you get a really, really fun sparkle coming off of it. All right. This one feels like it's pretty well mixed. All right. So we are going to, sorry, I brought my little baggie today. Okay, I'm going to grab my little portion. Okay. Now, if you've never joined us, what we do now, we're in the warehouse now. And we are going to any other colors. We have a whole website of colors. There's 4 different reds in this particular batch. They were already layered in there. If you just joined us, you'll be able to, if you want to watch from the replay, you can watch me select each red and dump it in there. But it's all reds to create one very robust red. Okay. Alyssa, yeah? It's ready. Okay. All right. So now, if you never joined us on the Wednesday, we are going to now go inside the work studio, and I've got some projects set up for us, and we're going to work on these. So if you've never been in the warehouse, here she is. That's the mold aisle. More molds, tools, glitters. Big glitter wall. Okay, but we're going to actually go use it on some projects so that you guys can see it in action. Play with it. I'm not going to melt this week. I almost died last week at this point because it was sweltering hot here. It's only 90 degrees today. 98, well, it's 98 degrees, but it's not 105. So, and there's a little cloud cover today. But the difference between 95 and 105 is a big difference. Okay. Hi guys, I know I turn beet red and I get out of breath real fast. That killed myself in the gym yesterday. So today I just did uphill walking. I walked uphill, aggressively uphill. If I lived closer, you'd come volunteer. It's not as glamorous as it sounds. Most of us are stressed out all the time. It's not all fun and games. We all love our jobs, but y'all keep us on our toes. You keep us on our toes. All right, let's see where we're at so I can give y'all a heads up. Okay. There are 150 live mixes left. And I think the instant transfers are sold out. Yeah, the instant transfers are sold out. There are now sublimation and water slides available. Fly me in and I'll help. Jessica's coming in. She'll be our first official, like, flying in to help person. She's coming in to hang out. I was like, girl, you would help pick up the pieces? All right. There are still some picture transfers, some instant transfers from yesterday left. Ooh, they're getting low though. So so let me show you, if you missed yesterday, the mini mix is of course sold out. You guys, that never makes it. There are 28 of the Santa Sleighs instant transfers left. There's only 28 of these left. Okay, and let's see, where's the other one? The wine. There are 50 of these guys. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, but if the white runs out, I'll drink the red. Okay. So there's about 50 of these guys. What did I say on this one? 28 of these guys. And this guy is officially sold out of instant transfer. He is available as water slide or sublimation print. Okay. There's also the free water slide. So if you buy 5 of today's live mixes, you can add them for free. Oh, vessel delays have been gnarly. Yeah, we have not been shipping anything by vessel. The drought in Panama, They're unable to run the Panama Canal. And so ships, vessel delays are insane. Yeah, we ship most of our things by air. Some of the really heavy things we ship by sea because the cost would be insane. Christmas is, this is how nuts it is. I feel like I just went to find a mold because I was like, what mold do I want? What do I want to make today? I'm like, oh, a little Christmas dish. But I was like, what mold? So I'm going through my molds and I'm like, oh, the Christmas sleigh. I'm like, wait, that just came out. That was a year ago. The little sleigh. That was a year ago. That feels literally like weeks ago. And we're now back looped around. That's why, like with this baby, I was like, every day I'm like, every day is miserable. I have to be pregnant for like another 190 days or something. I'm like, oh, and he's like, but think about it. Like, he's like, you've already been pregnant for 3 months. I was like, oh my gosh, it feels like I just got pregnant. So I'm like, yeah, it's flying by. It's flying by. All right. There's only 11 of the holiday charm palette mold left. There's only 8 of the 3D moose ornament. Oh, I was gonna get the cabochon. Couldn't find the cabochon in my set, so I think the girls took it back in there because I was gonna do a cabochon. Forgot to grab what was in there. All right, so we are going to do a glitter burst. Well, first, hold on, let's do this because I love demolding. So we did these. We have this as a whole set. You get 4 of the coaster molds, and then you get the actual mold that makes the holder for these. And I made a couple fun little ones. This was using last week's live mix, the brown. It is sold out, by the way. So this is the brown live mix from last week. And then we put Bosley along the back. So Bosley is along the back. I was originally going to do super yellow gold to make this very fall. I mean, it's still very fall, but I was like, ooh, you know what I want to do with this? One, I will take, I have cork that has sticky on one side, and I'll put the cork on the back and trace it, and then this will have like a cork backing. But I'm going to take the mini mix, and I want to rhinestone the outside in a mini mix. I may or may not. That was kind of the original idea. So I selected. Look how cute. And I like these coasters because they have the divots. So if your cup sweats, like the ring really goes down inside. That's a cute little coaster set. Now there is little honeybees in there. I could take some little acrylic paint and put it in there. But I like them just like this. So cute. Okay. These are in today's deals. These are one of the items that's in today's deals. It's a set. You get 4 of these coaster molds and then 1 of the coaster holder mold. We don't have a coffee table, so we don't really have anywhere to use coasters. We have one of those big couches that has the cup holders in it. We have like a super-sized couch. All right, so we're going to jump into the tumbler bursts. So if you've never seen a tumbler burst, I don't know how you would be able to avoid them, but they are just a really cool way of getting a design on your tumbler. We're going to be working with a 20-ounce regular. So this is cut to the bevel and the curve of that 20-ounce regular. I can't see the original comment, but I see somebody saying the instant transfer sold out. Yeah, the instant transfer for today is already sold out. This one is only available as a sublimation print. Oh, for the 5 glitters, it's a water slide. So it should be the listing right next to it. Okay. There is a listing. It says free. It's right next to it. It says free with purchase of 5 Live Mix 111s. There's a whole listing for it, for the free one. Okay. But this the instant transfer of this is sold out. The freebie water slide is still available. And it is still available for purchase as a water slide or a sublimation print. I can see a lot of people are trying to help and answer the question. So tumbler burst. So you take your Cricut. Let me see if I can catch the light right. You take your Cricut or your Silhouette, and you can kind of see the pattern on there. Okay, you see the pattern on there? Okay, this and you if you're like, where do you find the patterns? I don't make the patterns. I don't have time. So if you go, I buy them on Etsy. I like Etsy because it's a small business, right? You can see like individual creators. So I go on Etsy and I search what I wanted. And so I just searched Christmas tumbler burst and found one I liked. And I knew I was going to work with a 20-ounce regular today. So these are the ones that are kind of beveled. They're wider at the top and narrow at the bottom. And I chose the design to go on that, mainly because I'm like, that's a perfect little hot chocolate size tumbler. I chose a Christmas pattern. It has moose and a snowflake and these cute little hearts. And so that's the part that I'm going to, the moose, the snowflake, and the little hearts are going to be in red. Okay, so what you go is you cut this in on your Cricut. Washi tape is a good setting on your Cricut, but everyone's Cricut is going to be a little different. So I recommend doing a test cut. Because everyone's Cricut's going to be a little different because it depends on where you buy your blades, your replacement blades, how fresh and sharp your blade is, and which mat you cut it on. There's a lot of elements that will affect this. So I recommend doing a little test cut, like in the corner. Like on this one, I know there's nothing up in this corner. It's cutting down here to make the bevel. Okay. So I would do a little test cut in the corner and then sample it before I actually do the big cut. So I don't waste a whole piece of paper and cutting it and then find out that didn't work. So do a little cut in the corner. Okay. So Morgan uses a silhouette. I don't know how to use a silhouette. She prefers the silhouette over the Cricut. So you then take your weeding tweezers and we're going to go in and pull the paper off. So in the pattern, you just remove whatever parts you want to be red, you remove off. So you take it off. So this is the part that I want to be red. So we're using today's live mix on this tumbler burst. I'm just going to make this very simple. It's going to be red, black, and white. Oh, maybe should I do green, red, green, and white? So then it's Christmassy, more Christmassy. I'll think about it. My brain was originally red, black, and white, but maybe red, green, and white. Okay, and it's got this cute little pattern here. And when you put your glitter on tumbler bursts, you want to go from the darkest color first. So the red is going to be my darkest color that goes on here, because I wouldn't want to put white down first and then red, because the red will contaminate the white so much more than the white would ever contaminate the red. So you want to put your darker colors on first. It makes your life pretty miserable if you mistake and do that. Sometimes I get these started when I'm live with you guys and I haven't really gone through my whole process in my brain. And I mess it up because I'm like, I'm just start doing it with y'all. And then I realize I picked the wrong color and I went out of order from dark to light. But this one's pretty easy. It's just 3 colors. Well, I mean, it can be as many colors as you want. I'm doing it as 3 colors. Okay, so I go in, pull that out. Okay, this is the snowflake in the middle. Just a reminder, you all, the coupon code as of Friday night, so Saturday morning, the coupon code will no longer work. Both coupon codes will expire. So get your coupon code use in. Friday is the last day to use either LLRBOGO or the Glitter Now coupon code. If you forget your coupon codes, just a heads up, please do not message customer service. They will not go back, track, and refund any money. If you forget, it's a use it or lose it. If you forget to use it, we do not have the manpower hours and the ability to go back in and retroactive it. So make sure you apply it. Basically, customer service will just say,
Unfortunately, we were unable to do that. Make sure it's a coupon code can be used, blah, blah, blah. Make sure to use it on your next order. Yeah, we just get very bombarded. So if you forget something or miss something, we are not able to go back and fix things for you. Sometimes I'm able to grab it on a live if I have my computer and such, but I frequently don't have that. I can't really do customer service when I'm on a live. Because I don't have access to any of the stuff to do it. But sometimes it just happens that it's workable. But if you forget something while you're in there shopping, we are unable to fix it for you on the back end. Our minimum order to place a second order to get the things you need is so small for free shipping. We keep our minimum order very, very low, especially compared to any other company. Literally any other company, not just craft supply companies, but other companies for everything. I'm almost blown away because I'm so used to our $25 minimum, just because that's what we do, right? And that when I go to buy somewhere else and they're like $150 for free shipping, I was like, wait, what? I'm like, what? I'm not gonna buy $150 worth of shoes. Whatever it is I'm shopping for, because I'm so used to our very inexpensive minimum. All right, here we go. So you just go carefully through, lift it up. All right, so what we're going to be using on here is today's live mix. Today's live mix is number 111. Oh, I forgot. How many did I say we had left? Okay, there's 130 of today's live mixes left. Number 111. It is a fine red live mix. It's meant to be kind of like a candy cane red. You know you guys love your reds. Okay, so this is going to be a red. I think I'm going to go green. I was going to be a red, black, and white. So now you can see, if you've never seen these double-sided adhesive sheets. Okay. Okay, so if you've never seen these, what this is there is a double-sided adhesive sheet in between two blood drip red, yes. Between two pieces of paper. The back, you leave the back one intact, and then you cut your pattern on the front one, and then you remove it, just like you saw me removing those little pieces. You remove the little pieces to expose your design, and that's now super sticky. And then you pour your glitter right on top of that. Barb says keep it red, white, and black. All the ones I pulled are going to be red, yes. So these are all going to be the red. Okay. So now I'm going to sprinkle the red down on here. So you start with the darker color first when you do these glitter bursts. Okay. And then what I do is I medium pressure and just massage it in there. This is kind of like burnishing it down onto that sticky sheet and making sure, like, with a little bit of pressure, with the burnishing circular motion, that's laying the glitter down flat. And then with a little bit of pressure, that's getting it stick down onto that paper. You don't want to use firm pressure because you don't want to accidentally scrape up any of the other pattern. if you notice that your machine had a hard time cutting and it left a lot of like jagged edges around your cut lines, you want to use light pressure because those jagged edges could get snagged. This is also when you're doing these glitter tumbler bursts where our ombre glitter shaker comes in very handy. Okay. And not our ombre glitter shaker. Oh, you can you can do this with the ombre glitter shaker and ombre the colors. But I'm sorry, I meant the glitter duster brush. So to clean this off now, you're going to take it and lift it. Okay, and then just take the glitter duster brush and dust it off. The glitter duster brush is perfect for this because it's very gentle. It's not going to rip the glitter off the sticky sheet. It's just going to brush off anything that's not tacked down. Okay. Clean up my table a little bit. Okay. We're going to reuse this parchment paper because we're going to do more glitter colors. Okay. But here is your, it looks like a Christmas sweater. Yeah, I think it was even labeled called ugly Christmas sweater. Yeah, I think the title of this actual file was ugly Christmas sweater. I was like, oh, it's mousses and snowflakes. Yeah. All right. Barb says go with the black. She said stick with the black. I don't think I'm going to do black. Oh, where's my Ripley? I was going to use Ripley. But I didn't see Ripley here. But you know it is here. I don't know where Ripley went, but I do have my Live Mix 107, so we're pivoting back to green. When you do a snow globe, is it best to use chunky? Yes. When you're doing a snow globe, use chunkies. The fine glitter tends to clump. Well, hello, Miss Vicky. That's one of my best friends. She's watching. Hey, Vicky, I cannot find that turtle tumbler anywhere. I do not know where it went. I turned this thing upside down the other day looking for it. I have no clue. No clue. I'm going to keep looking, but I have not found it yet. I don't know where it went. I don't know why it grew legs. You think I missed a little piece by one of the hearts? Nope. There isn't, there is, it maybe right here, but there isn't one there. There's nothing there. There's no sticker there. It's the design is missing something there. That rascal designer. This cost me $2.35. That's why I buy him from Etsy, by the way. Because $2.35 is not worth the 7 hours of head bashing into the computer to make this design myself. $2.35. They're all different prices, you know, whichever one whoever you use on Etsy, that everybody has their own price. Oh, so now they have a little right around it. It's got a little ring around it. There's a thin piece on the outside and a thin piece around each little design shape. Okay, so I'm going to pull those up and then we're going to make these in green. But the red is today's live mix. A couple weeks ago, we did like a burgundy red and like a hunter green live mix combination. Today is more like a brick red or blood red. But I'm going to use that green from its Live Mix 107. It might be sold out. I used it again yesterday. There was only a handful of them left yesterday, so I don't know if there's anything left from Live Mix 107. But that is what I'm going to put in this small little skinny space around these patterns. Okay. If you've never used these, this is the double-sided adhesive sheets. We sell these on the website. And you want to use your Cricut or your Silhouette to cut them. These are very addictive. They're very fun to do and get that real fun pattern. And it looks like a hand glittered tumbler. And that's what makes it so addicting to do these. Okay. I feel like cheetah print ones are one of the ones that are the most tedious to do this with because there's so much in the patterning with the cheetah print. This one is going very quickly. It's very nice to be able to whip through one real fast. I thought about just doing a candy cane, but I saw this little pattern. It's called Ugly Christmas Sweater, but I was like, oh, the little mooses. I love the little mooses. You know, I went to Alaska, never saw a moose. Never saw a moose in Alaska. It was a super bummer. Every time somebody would see one, by the time I was able to get to the window to look out or wherever we were, or I was like 2 cars back, we couldn't see it. And then it was gone. I only ever saw moose poop in Alaska. Okay, so this is just like a little skinny edging around each little pattern. Now I could have just pulled this all at the same time and it could have just been and just done it all red, but I think this little edge will be cute in a second color, third color, I guess. But again, you want it when you do these patterns, you want to go from dark to light. So the red that's on this tumbler, on this pattern, this is our live mix today. Hi guys. You have moose in Utah. Where are you in Utah? I lived in Utah. There were definitely not mooses. Oh wait, yes, we just talked about this yesterday. I said I have a weird memory of, I never saw a moose and never anything where we lived, but I have a weird memory of somebody that, of like 20 minutes away from us. It was like, oh, the moose keep eating all of our flower bed. And I'm like, I've never seen, what, do you have a moose in Utah? But I never saw one. I lived in Utah for 6 months. All right, so same thing. We're just gonna gently massage this in. And this is why you don't want to do a light color first. You want to do all your dark colors first, because this is where the contamination would come in. If we had done white and then this over the top of it, any like individual one little green fleck would contaminate that white. It would be like highlighted. You would really see it. But you'll notice when this green goes into this red, there's not going to be a lot, but it's not going to be that noticeable. So that's why you want to do the dark colors first, because the dark colors will really contaminate the light colors, but the light colors don't really contaminate the darker colors. Now these are 2 darker colors on top of each other, so they're not going to really do much to each other. Same gentle pressure, light pressure, just pushing it along. Okay. Shimmy, shimmy. Okay. Now this is Live Mix 107. If there's any Live Mix 106, Live Mix 106 and Live Mix 107 were mixed on the same day. They were meant to complement each other. They were a duo. Oh, here, I can show you guys. I have the tumbler. hold the phone. Here it is. This is Live Mix 106 and Live Mix 107 together as a plaid. And so I spray sealed this one yesterday. I was supposed to get it on epoxy this morning. There was no way that was going to happen. I've been trying to get in epoxy room. So I think on tonight's live, we're going to be epoxying some tumblers. I got my turners all pulled out, so they're in here. Okay, now we're going to go in and we're going to do the white next. So I want to make sure that there's no contaminants on here. So I'm going to just super brush it off. I'm doing it over my floor because I don't want to double clean my table. It's nothing exciting. I'm just brushing it off. Glitter duster brush, and I'm knocking off anything loose. Okay, now when I do the white, most likely anything that goes on this paper that's white is going to end up contaminated and cannot go back in my jar. So I'm going to assume and use as little of the white as I can and just push it along, because I won't be able to put this back inside with the white jar, because it's no matter how much I clean it, how much I prep, and how much I do, a few of these little specks of these green or the little white is going to get mixed in there. And so I don't want it to completely contaminate the whole jar, and I don't want to lose a lot either. So we're just going to use a small amount, okay, the smallest amount, and then we're just going to slowly work it across and just go as we go. The color I'm using is Spirit. If you have not, let's have a conversation about Spirit. If you do not have Spirit in your collection, Spirit is one of the absolute prettiest glitters. It is like a combination of opal white and silver, but all in one fleck of glitter. I don't know how to explain it. You'll see it when we put it on here. So it's not even a true white. It is like a New Year's Eve firecracker in one, like a white firecracker. But it's also like maybe like ground up diamonds. I don't know how to explain it. It's so pretty. Wait till you see it. Wait till you see it. Okay. Where'd my tweezies? All right. Last piece should come up real easy. But again, this is the white one. So we're doing the light last. Light colors last. Okay. Okay, just pulling this up. I'm trying to pull it up careful. Slow and steady. The red that is on here, this is the live mix from today. So if you're just joining, the like blood red, candy cane red, that is today's live mix. The green is live mix from a few weeks ago. It's live mix 107. Yesterday there was only a handful of them left. I don't know what's going to be there today. The instant transfer for today sold out. It's stupid fast. You guys would crack me up. And then there's only, I think, 70 of the white Christmas ones from yesterday, and there was 28 of the Santa sleigh, the sleigh silhouette from yesterday. Last time I looked. through this. Last big piece. You want to avoid touching the sticky part. That's why I'm using the tweezers, because your skin oils and such will make it to where it doesn't grip as much glitter. Ta-da! All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put Spirit on here. We're going to put a little bit in this corner, and then we're going to work them across. Okay. And I'm going to push it down and across. Now, Spirit is still considered a fine glitter, but he's got a little bit more heft to him. He's not quite a dad bod, but he doesn't quite feel like a fine or look like a fine. This odd size of him is what gives him also part of that absolutely amazing sparkle. Okay, so let's shimmy down. So see how I'm just trying to push him down and work with what's already on my paper instead of adding more. Because like I said, this is going to get contaminated. This, whatever's left over here is going to end up contaminated. And so I want to use as little bit on the paper as possible so that I don't have to throw away a bunch. Okay. There we go. So I'm going to shimmy, shimmy, shimmy any leftover, push it down. Okay. Now I got it here. All that extra and just working this in. Okay, so now I know I've got most of it on. I still need a little more, so we're going to put a little more. And the reason I'm doing it this way is because, like I said, the green, no matter how well I clean it off and try to brush it off, that green and red is going to get in here and contaminate this white a little bit. And so I can never really put it back into the jar. Okay, so we're going to tap, 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 bring it down. Maybe a little bit more down here. All right, so we're good to go. All filled in, all glittered. And we're just going to dust or brush it off. So you're going to see there's going to be a couple little Spirit pieces that are going to cling into that red or cling into the green area, but they're really not going to be noticeable as in stark contrast. If it had been white first, then we put red, one little white red dot would show up so aggressively in the middle of the white. So that's why you go dark to light, because the light does not contaminate the dark as much as the dark would contaminate the light. So you can try to save this and then kind of have like a dump bucket white, or if you're putting it on a black tumbler and you know that like one little fleck of this or that is not going to make a big difference. Okay. That is so cute. We did sell the mold. The mold sells out. We do restock it. It is on the list for the restock. Patty. So Patty Berger is saying she sees that we sell the A6 hardware, but we don't have the mold. It's because the mold sold out. It will be coming back in stock. Yeah, it's something that we'd like to try to keep in stock, but we do sell quite a bit of them, quite a few of them. But that is Spirit. Look how pretty that is. Okay, now we're gonna just clean it up a little extra. So then what you do with this, one, I'm just gonna get in here and clean it up a little extra, really just kick off anything that is really not stuck down. This is why the glitter duster brushes are like invaluable in certain projects. This is one of them. Okay. Because it's so gentle, it's not going to rip anything actually off the adhesive. It's just going to knock anything that's not actually stuck down off. Okay. So this is now actually cut. This is cut to fit exactly around a 12-ounce tumbler. I've got one sealed and I got one prepped. Okay. But that'll be for another day because this, we want to spray seal this. Okay. So what I have found to be easiest, well, there is a varying things that you can do if you struggle wrapping them, because they get, once you take that backing off, it gets real floppy. It's really flippy floppy, like a tissue paper, right? You can take a sheet of regular vinyl, white vinyl, a sheet of our printable vinyl, or just white vinyl, and peel the backing off and stick it down onto that white vinyl and press it onto that vinyl so that when you, and then cut your shape out and then apply it with that white vinyl, it makes it a little thicker, so it's a lot easier to wrap, okay? Or you just can spray seal this and go for it. So it depends on where your comfort level is. Maybe we'll do the vinyl one because I can show it to you guys tomorrow. I didn't bring a piece of vinyl in, but I've got to spray seal it anyway. Okay, so the red is today's live mix. And the silver white is called Spirit. And it's got silver and opalescent and white in it. And then that super thin green line around it is Live Mix 111. Okay. But you can take this and actually use the adhesive and put it down on another piece of vinyl, a blank piece of vinyl or a pattern piece of vinyl. I mean, you can do whatever you want. Put it down on a piece of vinyl, and then it makes it thicker and easier to handle and apply. Or you can just apply it as this. I would cut this out along, the extra edges and apply it. Okay. All right. So this, I need to seal this up. I'll put this in here. I don't know why I have a sweatshirt on. It's not cold. Mary Jen says, yeah, I usually add it to the vinyl before cutting. Oh, then if I screw up, I haven't wasted my glitter. There you go. I buy really cheap rolls of removable vinyl specifically for putting the double-sided adhesive sheets on. Yeah. Removable. I mean, it doesn't matter. You're putting it under epoxy. Right, but if you don't have Spirit, Mary Cameron, what'd you miss? You missed me mixing the glitter. You missed me using the glitter. I'll show it to you in just a second. I'm going to put a spray sealer on. You stuck up on vinyl. I say that all the time. And then when I go and buy vinyl, I buy all the same colors. So I end up with a whole lot of teal, pink, and purple. Now you do want to spray seal those in. There's the little nugget. You do want to spray seal those in because you don't want the glitter traveling when you epoxy it. Okay, here is the live mix. Okay, it is a blood red, like a deep, rich red, candy cane red was my goal. It is all fine glitter. Okay. So if you missed it, that is today's live mix glitter. There's only 100 of today's live. Well, that went fast. There's only 100 of today's live mixes left. Oh, you just got your battle box? Yes, Tammy, girl. Do you know what you're going to do? Have you been like working through it in your brain? How many weeks am I in? 14 weeks. Monday was 14 weeks. 14 weeks and 2 days. Today is the last day for swag bag. Today's the 13th. Today's swag bag sign up day. All right, so I was going to do a mold, but I really want to dive into these tumblers. Let's do the tumblers. Okay. We haven't actually epoxy tumblers on a live in a while, so I feel like I should do it. Talk about epoxy application and everything. Yeah, I'm 14 weeks today. So look, I have an app. Hold on. My kids love this app. This is how I keep up. No. So my app has it programmed that I'm 13 weeks today, but the doctor says no, you're 14 weeks. This is my app. This is the show this kid. I was like, this is what she looks like. That's not actually. They're like, is that her? I'm like, no, that's not actually her. This is what it should look like in my belly. My belly's way bigger. That's how big she is. That's how many weeks I am. 5.79 inches. Next week, she'll be the size of an apple. She'll grow 1 whole inch this week. That might be why I was so tired yesterday. Literally this morning, Ivan's like, because last night he came and he's like, how you doing, babe? I was like, I can't even talk. Like I just can't even function right now. And I said, and this morning I was like, last night I felt like for some reason I needed to be in the hospital, but I couldn't pinpoint any reason. I just felt that miserable. Like I was that tired. I was that like physically and mentally just done. And I was like, I feel that crappy. Not because I'm sick, not for any particular, like nothing hurts, nothing's, but I'm like, I feel like my whole body is just shutting down. I slept 3 hours last night, lucky me. So I'm doing okay today. Okay, so we have not epoxy tumblers now in a while. Now, I will tell you, I'm trying a whole bunch of things. I've been sampling and trying things. So far, I'm going to use them today because so far I like them. They're going to be going on our Amazon shopping list. This baby bump. I can't lean over as I used to be able to. These are things that I've been trying, different like add-ons to the tumblers. We have the foams, but over time the foam gives up, right? Not really. It takes a long time, but like, or you lose a foam or you get epoxy all over it or something. There are these things. It's like a flower, and it comes, I think it's a set of 6 of these, and they were like $20 for 6 of them. But if you can adjust it by taking off a layer of the flower. So if you have a skinny cup or a thin cup, or they like what are those, the skinny neck bottles, it goes down, and then you add on a ring for each size that you want to do. Okay. So far, I've really liked them. Now I have found that it doesn't work with our foams. I would use like 2. I need to get my gloves. My belly is just so big, it's hard to reach over there. Oh, the gloves right here in reach. I have found that putting 2 on here is not realistic. You can't get them on there. Yeah, you have these. Yeah. So I've tried a couple different ones. These are the ones I'm settling on. So these will be the ones that I put on our Amazon shopping list. But you can sort. So this is Live Mix 109. If you missed it, I should check. I tried to look yesterday. Did you guys, is there Live Mix 109s left? I don't even know. Just FYI, there's right about, there's only 10 Live Mix 107. So the green that I used today, there's only 10 of them left. Oh my gosh, there's only 65 of the cabochon molds left. I know it sounds like a lot, but it's not with y'all. Oh, there was some, yes. Thank you, Jane, you're the best. So this is Live Mix 109. This is the one that has like the fantasy mixed in with all the different blues and purples. Okay. And we used it as a peekaboo, the outer side of the peekaboo on this one. But see these, you just kind of press them in and push it. And I have found so far, I really would say you can't get two in there, but I found that just one is very stable. Bye, Michelle. Tell them good luck. All right, let me shut my room. Okay, now we haven't actually epoxied on a live for a while. Christine was doing a lot of the epoxy work, but she is slammed, so stuff isn't moving, and I got to get stuff moving through here. So we're gonna do some today, mainly because I just really freaking love this tumbler. So we're gonna do it. So I want to show you a couple little tips. That one. Now, y'all, I know you've heard me say this. I'm saying this is going to be for anybody new that's watching. Yes, I am pregnant. No, me doing this pregnant is not me telling you that it's okay to do this pregnant. This is a personal choice. What does the bottom look like? Nothing. I didn't do anything to the bottom. I just left it. This is my personal choice. I know that I'm in full control of my environment. I know that I come in no contact with the epoxy. I wear my nitrile gloves. I wear a very expensive, nice, very well working chemical respirator at all times. I don't even take one breath of air in this room with epoxy in it. 109 is now sold out. Okay. I do not even take one breath of air in here without my respirator on. I know this sucker works because I am highly allergic to UV resin, and I can work with the UV resin as long as I wear this because it keeps any of the chemical and smell and vapors away from me. And so I, like, when I say highly, I mean like emergency room allergic to it. And so I know for myself, this gives me peace of mind. I check my cartridges often. I keep spares. I change them out frequently. I also have two VOC chemical air purifiers in this room. I also have a full ventilation system going in and out of the room. So I know that my environment is perfectly safe for me to work with epoxy. So I am not telling you that it is okay to do this with pregnant, because you might do this in your kitchen and wear your mask while you put it on, and then you take your mask off and you go brush your teeth and you come back out to your kitchen, you cook dinner, and your turner is on your kitchen table spinning with epoxy on it. That's not okay. But I don't know your environment. I don't know what your system is. When you say, oh, it's well ventilated, I don't know what your ventilation system is. I don't know if that just means you have a window open in your bathroom and a fan going, circulating air. That's not well ventilating. So I'm not in any way saying that you can do this pregnant. You need to be in complete control of your environment, and you need to be responsible for your own safety. I take my own safety very seriously. Like I said, I'm super duper allergic to UV resin. And so I know if what I do can protect me from UV resin, it can protect me from epoxy. So I feel very comfortable and safe. So, okay. I'm not going to say that on every live, but I will say it occasionally because I just want that put out there. I do not work in this room. I will not come back in this room. All these turners will be taken back into the turning room. Hello. All these turners will go back, as I'm doing them, they're going to be moved into our turning and curing room. It has its own little ventilation system in there. It also has its own air purifier in there. And then we can close that room. Then I will actually exit this room, leave the door, close, and let this one continue to cycle through fresh air. And I will not come back in here until tomorrow, when it has had like 12 hours to recirculate fresh air into here. So Christina's back today. She came back today. So, all right. So with epoxy, I'm still using our Tumbler and our epoxy. Okay. So you want to mix equal parts. So if you are new to epoxy, welcome to the addiction. I do try to talk a little bit louder. Thank you guys. I do try to talk a bit louder when I have my mask on, but I am pregnant and I get out of breath very easy. So I might have to take breaks, talking breaks. So when you're working with our epoxy brands, right now we have the deep pour epoxy, but it is measured by weight. Not all epoxy is measured by weight. So even if you see me measuring by weight, whatever epoxy brand you use, make sure to follow that manufacturer's instructions for mixing, because some of them are by volume, which means you put like 10 milliliters in here and then of A and 10 milliliters of B. Milliliters and grams are not the same thing. So I measure by weight, okay? And when I do a 20-ounce tumbler, the way I decide, like, that's one of the most frequently asked questions. How do you decide how many grams or how much epoxy to use per layer? And what I always say, my rule of thumb is take whatever ounces the tumbler is and convert that to grams. So it's a 20-ounce tumbler. I think this is actually a 24-ounce tumbler. A 20-ounce tumbler, 1135, and convert it to grams. So 20 ounces of liquid will hold it. So then I say 20 grams of epoxy is what it's going to need for a layer of epoxy. And I generally do 1 or 2 grams extra for good measure, for good coverage. B is thicker, so it comes out of the tube a little bit slower. Okay, perfect. When you do it by weight, you're able to almost hit it like nail on the head. And that is a great way because you know that you got the proper measurements in there. Now, when you're mixing tumbler epoxy and you're new to this sport, we're going to call it a sport. When you're new to this sport, you want to mix slow and avoid bubbles. I don't do that on camera. I whip it. You guys don't want to sit and watch me slow mix this for 3 minutes. Okay, so I whip it. I don't worry about bubbles. I can get them with my torch at the end. So whip, 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 whip. So my epoxy will have a ton of bubbles in it because I'm stirring so quickly. So always scrape your stir stick, all the edges of your stir stick, and then stir it again. Scrape the outside edges and scrape the bottom of your cup, because if you don't do that, you will end up with sticky spots on your cup. It's kind of like when you're baking the brownies and you put the dry ingredients in, then you add the wet ingredients, and then you go stir it. A bunch of the dry ingredients are stuck to the side and it's kind of stuck up onto your spoon. If you don't stir those in, those are going to be like weird powdery parts of your brownie. So you gotta stir in all those extra little bits, scrape off your spoon, and then re-stir. And that's how you know you get a good mix. I have not had a tacky or uncured epoxy in, I would say, years, because I have a system of how I scrape and all that goodness. Okay, I keep my baby wipes at hand. My favorite brand of baby wipes that I use are Huggies Natural Care. I clean my tools immediately. Yes, it's a silicone stir stick, so the epoxy will not stick to it, but I find it easier to just wipe it really quick while it's wet. Is a lot easier than picking the epoxy off tomorrow when it's dry. All right, now, when you're applying your epoxy to your tumbler, one of the other big questions are, how do I clean the inside of the epoxy out of the inside of my tumbler? You should not have that question, because you shouldn't be getting epoxy inside your tumbler. This is how you avoid getting epoxy inside your tumbler. Do not apply your epoxy up here. Put your epoxy about 1 inch below the surface and swoop down only, okay? You're not going to worry about that top inch. You're going to push that epoxy down first. Okay, you put it on the tumbler and push down. Also notice I only use 1 finger to apply my epoxy. Using only 1 finger is going to have the least amount of waste for your cup. Okay. When you get epoxy all over your hands, it's almost impossible to get it all off your gloves. So you're essentially just going to be throwing away all that epoxy that's just kind of gotten all over your gloves. So by using 1 finger, that's it. And I can easily just scrape that finger and get that gram of epoxy off and put it back on my tumbler. Okay, now we're only working and focusing on this bottom part. I'm just slowly getting that coverage and getting that bottom covered. We are not going for a smooth surface on the first coat. If you are going to try to get a smooth surface on that first coat, one, you probably have been doing this for a very long time, or you haven't done it hardly enough. And what's going to happen, if you've done it for a very long time, you've sorted out your rhythm and how it works for you, and it's going to work great. If you do not have that yet, you're most likely going to end up with a muffin butt, a bunch of epoxy pooled up down here, a bunch of epoxy pooled up here, or what we call boobs, where the epoxy drips and it hangs off and then dries as like a drip, booby hanging off. Okay. It should take at least 2 coats to get a smooth covering over glitter, even just fine glitter. Okay. So you're not trying to get a glossy, smooth coat on this first round. Now, if you watched how I applied it to the butt, I don't scoop it with my finger and try to slap it to the cup. I put the little drip on the edge of the butt, and then I push it over and I apply it on. It's a lot cleaner to do it that way, okay? Now, this is where we're going to focus on this top part. This is how you avoid getting any epoxy on the inside of your tumbler. You swoop up only. So from that 1 inch down, you go only down. From this one, you go only up. This is going to be a swoop up. So we're going to add a little bit of epoxy, okay? And then we're going to take it and we're going to push it up. Push it up. Push it up. I only swoop up. Only swooping up. Okay? Another little drizzle. Swoop up. Swoop up. Swoop up. Swoop up. Swoop up. Swoop up. 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 And up. Going up, it will go to the edge, and when you go to straight past it, it will dome up on that edge and stop. If you scrape back down, if you go up and down, if you're going like this, when you go this way, it's scraping your glove. It's going to scrape your glove, and all that epoxy that you scrape is going to go right inside that tumbler. So the way to avoid ever getting epoxy inside is, one, don't use too much epoxy. If you're glooping it, you have a big gloppy mess of epoxy everywhere because you use too much. You're going to have drips flopping everywhere, and some of them could possibly end inside. But just swoop it up, bring it right to that edge, let it dome up on that edge, and then you're done. I've got about a gram of epoxy left, so we're going to go ahead and just put it on here and be done. I don't like wasting epoxy, so we got one little drip left. Got it on there. All right, so that is done for that. Take my baby wipe. I only have one finger to clean. It's much easier. Okay, baby wipe, clean that finger. So that is how I apply epoxy to my tumblers. It goes on nice and smooth. I didn't make a mess. There's not even a single drip on my mat. I got it on my butt without making a mess all underneath. I got it all the way to the top without getting a single drip inside the tumbler. Okay, now is torch time. Okay, when you torch a tumbler, you got to move very quickly. Do not focus on an individual bubble. Just focus on going across the surface with steady, quick pace. I only go around the tumbler one time. Hit the butt, and then I let it rest. Okay, then I let it rest. The reason you don't want to just keep going and going and going and going with a torch, even if you still see micro bubbles, don't keep going because you're going to overheat your epoxy. Just do one round, put the tumbler to the side, do your next round, next tumbler, bring this one back in after that when it's had time to cool down a little bit, and do a second torch. Okay? All right, so there's this one. We're going to move this into the turning room. All right. Next up. Can you all send me a comment? Can somebody give me a thumbs up or wave? I think my comments got stuck. You guys are never this quiet. I think my comments are stuck. Can you all push the comments? Usually if you all comment at once, the comments kick back on. Am I even still live? Y'all got real quiet for that whole time. There we go. Yeah, y'all got real quiet. You had me worried over here. All right. So let's get this guy under epoxy. Okay. You're just watching. Yeah, I haven't epoxied with y'all in a while, so sometimes it's just kind of good to go over the basics. Hello, everybody. All right, same thing. This is a 20-ounce tumbler. So we're going to do just over 20 grams of epoxy. You were stuffing your face. All right, so we're going to do about 12 grams of A and 12 grams of B. All right, 12. Okay, 12A, 12B. All right. All right, so again, I mix very, very quickly. Now, again, if you missed it, if you just jumped on, hi guys. So it's a 20-ounce tumbler. So how I select how much epoxy I'm going to use per tumbler, I generally take the ounces of the tumbler and convert that to grams. So it's a 20-ounce tumbler, so to convert that to 20 grams of epoxy. And then I add a couple extra grams for good measure. So this is going to be 24 grams, actually. So I did 12 grams and 12 grams. But again, if you are doing an epoxy measured by weight, do it by milliliter. Not by weight, by volume, I'm sorry. We do our epoxy by weight, but not all epoxy can be measured by weight. You have to make sure and check your manufacturer to find out if it's done by weight or by volume. They are not the same thing. Okay, scrape the sides, scrape my stir stick. I do that a couple times. Scrape the bottom of the tumbler. And again, I don't worry about bubbles because I'm going to torch them out at the end. So if you're doing projects, if you're doing like a big pour, you want to go slow, right? But doing it on a tumbler, we're going to torch the tumbler to get the bubbles out. So we're good. Okay. Clean my stir stick. I clean my stir stick at the time so it doesn't get stuck there. All right. Same thing. So this is going to be the same exact application. This tumbler needs to be tightened. Let me go get my screwdriver because I say it every time and I don't do it. I happen to know where my actual screwdriver is, so we'll just do it this time. Okay. Oh, I need to get I don't have a little, well, I can't tighten it because I don't have a one to hold the bottom in. And it's just spinning. See if I push it onto the silicone mat, it won't spin. That's just spinning. All right. Well, that's better. I was going to say it was so loose that it was like hanging down. That's better. All right. All right. So with this tumbler, this has been sealed. We applied the green to the butt yesterday. We're going to do 2 coats of epoxy on this guy, 1 coat today. So we're going to do one coat today. We want to get a smooth coat on here so I can pinstripe it for the plaid. And then we're going to put another coat of epoxy over that. Then we're going to power wash it, and we're going to add the fun decal that I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, but if the white is gone, I'll drink the red. We're going to be putting that on here. So same concept. We're going to be applying the epoxy 1 inch from the lip. You are not in a hurry. Now, I have done this 800 million times, y'all. So if I make it look easy, it's because this is literally muscle memory for me. Okay, so 1 inch below the lip. You are not in a hurry. This can go around 5 times, and you add 1 little bit each time. Okay, it doesn't matter. You have plenty of time with epoxy to apply it. Okay, so we've gone around once. Focus on the bottom, bringing the epoxy to that edge, that bottom edge. Okay, just swooping down, getting that coverage on that butt. All right, now we're there. We got now applying the epoxy to the butt. Don't try to scoop it out of the cup and smash it on the butt. Put it on the edge and push it over. And don't put so much that the drip is going to be so big and heavy, it's just going to drip quickly down the other side and off the cup. Just do a little dime size drip or less, like a little less than a dime, just a little drizzle. Put it on. If you need more, drizzle a little more. Okay, so if you put too much and you push it, it's just going to go whoop, and before you can even get your finger down there, it's going to have dripped off the cup. Okay, now we're going to focus on this top bit. Now you can go through, and you don't have to add more epoxy. You can just drag from the middle and swoop up. Or you can do like I did on the other tumbler and add a little bit and swoop up. But either way, no matter where you get the epoxy from, swoop up only. Only in an upward motion. Only in an upward motion. Okay. Yes, I do get it on my turner. I do not stress about that. I can take it off my turner. Okay. Now, I didn't rush, so there is one spot that I missed. Because I didn't overwhelm myself, I just let myself miss it. Here it comes. I'm going to swoop up, and right there. Okay. Now, I've got it all the way around the tumbler. I've got a little bit left. So I'm going to drizzle it on. I know that it's going to self-level, so it doesn't matter where I drizzle it on. Remember, anytime you go to the top, only up. So I'm just going to kind of stick it on anywhere through the cup. Okay, half a gram. Little dribs of the drips. Little dribble drop. Okay. All right. Okay, now my glove. Clean my glove. Again, I'm not trying to get it perfectly smooth. Yeah, Alumilite is a good one. Isn't that the one from Michaels? Yeah, Alumilite is the one from Michaels, I believe. It works good. I mean, from back in the day, I remember it working good before I started manufacturing my own. All right. So again, I'm not trying to get a smooth surface with this round of epoxy. I'm just trying to get the process started to get a smooth coat. I'm assuming my second coat is what will give me the smooth coat. This is my starter layer. The next layer will be the final, like the smooth coat layer. Again, going through. And one round. Slow and steady. Go past your turner. Okay, let me show you what I mean. Hold on, I don't want to lose my track of where I was. I'm going to go around the tumbler one time. All right. When I'm putting on when I'm torching, y'all, you do not want to torch like this. You want to go past the tumbler on each end. So you watch me, I'm doing big strokes. And when I go here, it's past and past. Because if you go like this, you were double heating the edges because you're going up and down in one small space. It's very hard to explain. If you paint with a spray paint can and you go like this, you'll notice you get drips on the edges because you're double coating up and down in the spot. Okay, so you want to go past one arc, so you're not superheating the edges. Michael's, yeah, Michael's is where you get a Lumelite. Okay, long swoops, not short swoops. Going like this is going to burn your epoxy. And even if you have one bubble here, but not anywhere else, brush it all the way across. Don't just go at that one bubble. All right. Clean my glove. This one is ready for the turning room. All right, y'all. Now let's look at today's sheet. So if you missed it, this is today's live mix. Okay. Those are the only 2 cups we're doing today. This is today's live mix. We did it on a Tumbler burst. The bright red, the candy cane red is today's live mix. Spirit is the color here, and then the dark green is live mix 107. And we're going to be wrapping this around this 20-ounce regular. That's why it's got the curving and the beveling. So it's designed to go on there, okay? I'm going to seal this one more time. We'll probably wrap it tomorrow. Oh, Emily's live with y'all tomorrow. So I will wrap it with you guys probably on Friday. All right. So grab your goodies. Don't forget your free water slide. If you buy 5 of today's live mixes, you can add the hot cocoa season free water slide. It's still available as a water slide or sublimation print. The instant transfer is sold out. There's more than 300 items in today's deals right now. So shop it before it goes away, because by the weekend, I'm going to be pulling all that stuff off. Your coupon codes, Glitter Now and LLRBOGO, will only work through Friday. They will be expiring Friday night. All right, so get all your goodies, and I will see you guys possibly tomorrow, but most likely I'm going to see you guys on Friday. All right, mainly just because I know how busy I am, and my brain wants to come live and craft, but I probably will not make it. I just know how much stuff I got on my plate for tomorrow. All right, I will see you guys Friday. Emily will be live with you guys tomorrow, crafting from California, and I will see you guys later. Bye, guys.